Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with a good friend of mine, Leydi Zora. And what we're going to talk to her about, besides her real estate journey, we're going to talk about really the power of relationships and really how to make that happen, especially maybe if you're an introvert, right? Or someone doesn't feel comfortable out in the spotlight. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, or service providers, all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x your business. We do it by providing tools and resources to grow that business you've always wanted to have and kind of in turn live that life you've always dreamed of. So, Leydi, welcome to my show.
Hi, John. I'm happy to be here.
I was so excited when I saw you book. Just for, some of the folks, we've done some business together, and I'm excited to talk about the power relationships because that's kind of how we met. But before we get into all that, do me a favor and kind of give our audience some information about you, kind of your background, maybe how you got into real estate, and where what got you here.
Okay. Well, yeah, my name is Leydi. I'm originally from Colombia, South America, and I came here originally for, my studies. I am an engineer by trade, and right now I'm full-time real estate, so that's a story. But I'm an engineer by trade, and came here, like I said, from Colombia. And the way I started in real estate was like a lot of people, house hacking, right? Bought my first property and kind of rented out the basement to somebody else and kind of scaled from there while having my main W-2.
Okay. Very interesting. And a lot of folks, it seems like a lot of folks that I've talked to recently have got their start in house hacking, but let's kind of back up a little bit. You were a college athlete, yes?
Yes.
And I think if I recall, Arkansas State?
Arkansas State, yes. Is when I first moved from Colombia to Arkansas, which a state I had never heard of. But
And then you studying engineering, was there any influences, anybody in your family, any friends, maybe someone that you knew at college that, was doing any type of real estate that maybe planted a seed?
yeah, I would say if I think about it, my parents, like, even though, we grew up kind of middle class and things like that, my dad always tried to put savings aside to kind of have like another property as rental and things like that. In Colombia, it's a lot tougher, and maybe it's not, the rents and all that work very different in a way. But I think that was part of like what planted the seed, like you said. My family, yeah.
Did he ever take you on any appointments to see places, or did he involve you in any of the stuff that he did for these rentals and whatnot?
Not necessarily. I would just say like the seed came more from like the importance of having a home, So like I when I graduated, I worked really hard to kind of buy my house, right? And then it turned into being able to house hack and kind of start digging about real estate from there.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
But it wasn't like I grew up with my dad as an investor or anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know about the house hack when you were doing the house hack?
No, I don't even think that like
It was a
expression
term.
really existed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, how can I save money? And, it was actually a friend of mine and she was looking for a place. And then I kind of showed her my property and we started talking and she was like, hey, what if I lived in your basement? And I was like,
Okay.
why not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Help out with the rent,
Yeah, exactly.
What turned you from engineering to real estate? Was it a book? Was it a meeting? Was it something that you started studying, stumbled across, or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say the later one. I just started looking into it, and for whatever reason, I do think real estate has a lot to do with numbers and things like that, and maybe that's what I had an affinity for it.
Mm-hmm.
And just yeah, like there are so many unknowns, but also so many things you can create, and I feel like I had that side of me that maybe I wasn't using as much at work, and it kind of planted that seed to look more into it.
Okay.
And see how I could build more.
And you started off working a W-2 job and then doing real estate on the side. Did you get into investing, real estate investing, fix flip, wholesale, or did you get into the traditional real estate of being an agent?
It was more the investing side.
Okay.
I actually got my license just about 4.5 years ago or so.
Okay.
Now that I'm in California. But yeah, it was mainly as a buy and hold investor, more of the traditional way, conventional, the 20% down and kind of go from there.
Got it. So you saw someone paying your rent, living in your basement, or helping with your rent in the or your payment in the basement. So you're like, hey man, I can turn this into a business. Let me get some more.
Yeah.
What were some of the struggles when you started?
I would say like in terms of living, or do you mean like starting?
In terms of starting the investment journey of buying rentals and managing rentals or all those type of things.
Yeah, I would say one thing that's important is kind of having that structure of like, let's say if my ultimate goal was to get another property, right? How much do I need to save in order to achieve that? So being kind of structured and very organized with kind of keeping that as a priority, because it's very easy to, hey, you know what, let me go here or do this, do that. And then all of a sudden, that bucket is not growing as you want it to.
Did you reach out to any mentors to learn? I mean, to learn the rental game? Did you have any, join any masterminds? Did you do any, course studies?
I joined Sub 2, which is where we met. That's now 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago,
I think
more
so.
or less.
Yeah.
So that was my first mentorship, and I do think like if I had joined perhaps sooner or like to other mentorships, maybe things will have scaled faster, because in Sub 2 I got to meet a lot of people that perhaps because of the way I am, right, like not necessarily outgoing and like extrovert, it's harder to build those relationships. And so if I had started that sooner, perhaps, who knows, there could have been relationships that I could have built sooner, but I'm not regretting anything. Yeah.
Were you buying your properties? I mean, how many properties did you have prior to Sub 2? Or has that been your particular primary way to buy property?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
No, we had about 6 doors coming
Okay.
into sub 2. Um, uh, it's more than double now, so we're growing, but not exponentially, but steady.
What was the
So,
main reason for the big growth? I mean, double, 2x.
so the main reason I would say is relationships and being able to network with people that are actively doing the same.
Okay.
That way you get to have more exposure to things, right? Like kind of what you mentioned initially, like being able to be part of a community or of a mastermind or of a group where that's kind of what people talk about. You can be exposed to a lot more of those opportunities, definitely.
Well, you being an introvert, I mean, self-described introvert, what, I mean, like you said, it's not easy to go to. And I've been to these meetings, right? I've been to these functions, the events that they have. I mean, it's not easy to go put yourself in some of those vulnerable situations. I mean, what kind of mindset things, tools, resources did you use to kind of help you break out of your shell a little bit?
Yeah, and I would say actually I still struggle with that quite a bit, like trying to make the effort to go to a meetup or,
Hmm.
but I would say it's like looking at the end goal more than just like, do I really like doing this or not?
Right.
Um, and a great example is that actually last week or the week prior, there was a meetup here very close by, and I was like about to cancel and say, you know what, I can just go next time.
Yeah.
But I just decided to go there, and I met an appraiser who actually knew some lenders and also might be a good connection for some not non-profits
Okay.
that could help us with one of the projects we're working on. And so I was like, like I never thought I would meet you here, but I'm glad I came. So you never know who you might meet or, how you can bring value to somebody else.
Yep.
And so just looking at it as like the end goal makes things worth it and, you know, getting out of the house.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and it's funny. A lot of people are afflicted by this, right? By that fear of putting yourself out there in some of these. I was at the beginning, right? When I got into some of the bigger groups, I'm like, man, I don't know if I don't want, can I bring value? Am I going to bug these people? But that's how
Yeah.
we met. And then what happened after we
Yes.
met? We did a deal together, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's the power of it, right? That's the power of being able to meet. So let's talk a little about that. So folks that are having trouble, maybe getting out there and putting out there, like what are some of the best ways that you found to not only overcome it, but to just like go that extra step, whether it's, do an extra meetup a week or do stuff like that. What have you found that's helped you?
To like do more of it
Or just
or
be more involved and not be, held back and reserved and introverted, to be more out there.
I would say like it also there's always like when you go there, there's always good conversations, and that's something that I need to remind myself, right? Like I one thing that I do is I plan it in advance, so I get reminders, and I guess mentally getting prepared that okay, tomorrow, right? Like I have
Hmm.
this meetup, and I'm more ready for it. But once you're there, I would say the connections that you make are can be very meaningful, and just having that reminder, it's kind of like an incentive to keep going. Uh, like
Got it.
today, there is one downtown LA, and it's gonna be horrible to drive there. But
405 traffic? No way.
yeah, but it seems like Pace is coming, so I
Oh,
know a lot of
cool.
people are gonna show up. So it's it's going to be worth it.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Why was it important to you to have a mentor? In this case, obviously Pace and the sub 2 group. Why was it important to you as opposed to just kind of keep doing it on your own, man? YouTube's got a lot of information.
I would say it's going back to people with purpose, right? So like when you're in a community for a specific thing, so in this case, real estate investing, it's easier to find people that have similar mindset, right? Or similar goals, or that can complement you. And so that's what a community or a mentor can help with. They usually have communities, they know people, and so that helps to make things easier because it's not like we can do it all, right?
Yeah.
And there is always someone that's going to complement, especially if we want to like grow a business. Kind of like he talks about the integrator and what is the other one? Like kind of like the visionary.
Oh, the
right?
visionary.
The
visionary.
Yeah. So it's not like, even though you might be good at a little bit of everything, that you will be able to do everything.
Yeah.
So having that complement is really important.
I think really it is just to learn from other people's mistakes, right? It's kind of the shortcut, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But in the case of, of like Pace and the sub 2 group, it's about having that community to reflect on, to get help with whenever you need it, right? As long as you're vulnerable enough to ask.
Exactly.
What does your business look like today? What's Leydi doing today? I know you have some out of state stuff that you've told me before. So fill us in on what you're doing.
Yeah. So still, we've been focusing on single family homes. So I do think that, and that's one thing that, let's say, Pace says in his community. Not trying to do everything at the same time, but I mean, at least when you're starting, like they say, like do 30 days or 60 days of something, right?
Right.
But I would say for us, it has been single family. And so right now the focus is to keep scaling with that.
Okay.
And we also have a project in Southern California right now that's going to be a small development type of project.
Exciting.
And so kind of very excited about the next step.
So is this your first development?
Ground up, yes.
Ground up?
So yeah,
wow.
We had done like fix and flips out of state, but it's going to be our first ground up.
What? And I know you're gonna be doing with Omar.
Yes.
What are some of your fears? Let's get vulnerable here. What are some of your fears about this property?
About the property?
About the project, I mean.
I would say the project itself, I mean, things can go wrong in construction, right? And I would say maybe right now, all the uncertainties about prices and things like that could affect our budget. And I'm the one doing the underwriting. So, guess whose fault is going to be if the numbers don't work.
Right.
But no, I think I would say that's a factor, something that really is unknown to us at this point, to what's going to happen, 6 months down the line or something like that, once we have the permits and things really start. That's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay. And we know nowadays that it's really sometimes not about who you know, it's what you know. I mean, not what you know, it's who you know. We talk about, hiring your weaknesses. So let's say there's some folks out there that, they got a deal going and maybe they're not good at one or two things. What are your strengths? What is the strengths that Leydi brings to the table if someone wanted to JV or get together and do a deal with you?
So I would say my strengths are definitely the underwriting side, the numbers, and making sure that a project is sound or that a property is going to work for whatever exit strategy it is that we're trying to do. We usually do long-term rental type of exit strategies so that we can kind of not focus so much on the management side because it's not as active,
right?
And focus more on the acquisitions. But yeah, I would say that, or if somebody has a property that they want to sign or something like that, I could bring value by either purchasing it or, connecting with somebody who might, which is one of the deals we did in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
I do.
So
I do very
that's
well.
Something that.
Where do you guys see your business going? Right, you're obviously you have the rental portfolio. You're getting into ground up. I mean, where do we stop? Where do you guys envision yourself down? A year or two down the road?
Yeah, we definitely want to grow more. I found a lot of positive things in being local to the investment, even though, I mean, everything has its pros and cons, right? It's easier to delegate, or you're forced to delegate when you're out of state.
Right.
And so that helps tremendously. But also being local, you have more control of things. And so I think at the moment, we're going to want to explore that a little bit more with this project and see if we can scale that, given that we will have kind of like the construction on like in-house, right? And so that's going to help a lot with having more control of things going well, or if they are not, how to pivot because we have that in-house.
And I guess there'll be a lot more answers or clarity after this first one is done.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, based on your experience and your time in the business and the industry, I mean, let's say someone's wanting to get into real estate, whether it's, wholesaling, flipping, build the ground. What kind of advice or tools or guidance would you give to someone that wants to kind of get started today?
What I've been saying lately, honestly, is the JV side of things. Instead of someone blindly getting in debt just to get into a mentorship and think that things are going to happen just because you join something.
Right.
It would be the networking and meeting somebody that perhaps is actively like doing deals or buying, whatever it is that you're looking to do, and see how you can bring value to them, or how you can kind of, complement something that they are doing, instead of, like I said, looking to just get into something and
jump
because
in.
You bought this, all of the sudden things are going to happen, and it's not the case.
No.
So I would say that definitely is the best way, just shadowing somebody or helping someone and on the side, right? Like you don't have to quit your W-2 to go do that.
Right.
And then you actually kind of get to see if you really like it. Because a lot of times it's just a perception or an idea that we have that things are a certain way. But when you get into it, you're like, this is not what I expected. And,
Sure.
I would say.
No, 100%. And, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's right. It's learning from other people's mistakes and avoiding those pitfalls, those landmines. And you might give up a little cash right off the bat, but it's a lot better than paying for the mistakes later. Give up a little bit now to pay a lot later. And what would Leydi need? What are some things that, if there's folks out here, I mean, you're giving some great value here, and maybe someone wants to give back. I mean, what can someone, reach out and help you with?
I would say right now what we're mainly looking for is single family homes, like I said, in out of state. So for us, that's North Carolina, Tennessee, and Las Vegas, Nevada. And also we're looking for properties in Southern California, but that's a little bit more of like a constrained buy box, I would say, like a limited buy box. So,
Okay.
if someone has something here, we could talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah.
And you said North Carolina, Tennessee, and Las Vegas.
And Las Vegas.
And
Yes.
Las Vegas. Awesome. Well, if any of you guys are out there in those areas and you got deals, work with her, man. I mean, it's incredible. She's great at what she does. If folks want to reach out to you about a deal, about maybe just some questions to ask you, I don't know. I mean, how do they get in touch? What's the best way to reach out to you?
I would say the best way would be Instagram. So it's Leydi, Leydi .rei. And, be happy to connect with anybody, questions or whatever I can help with. I will be happy to do it.
Perfect. And we'll put all the information in the show notes. So guys, if you're out there and you want to get in touch, you'll have the way to get a hold of her. Lady, thank you for coming on. It's great to catch back up with you. I know it's been a while. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I know I did. Hope you took some good notes, and reach out if you want to talk or have any questions for Lady. See you guys on the next show. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.